Episode 82.
Wow.
We talk. I like how I always go yeah. You notice that every time it's always because I'm like trying to remember what it is that we talked about. We talked about a myriad of things, and Vish is gonna explain what we talked about right here.
Well, mine was the CES, a few interesting techs, and replacing our pets.
Yeah, and mine is a surprise, so you have to listen to it or read the title description above. Probably do one of those.
Cool merchandise.
Yes, if you want to support the podcast, hit us up on shop.lmfr.com. Pick up some teas on Teespring, because Teespring's where it's at. We should be sponsored by Teespring. That'd be kind of cool. Like, you make free teas. Not free, but like, you make teas. Sell them.
Right.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And you can also support the podcast by doing these things, Vish.
Like, share, subscribe, commenting, and
Not this year, Vish.
Oh.
Not this year. We're not doing that anymore. You gotta come with something new.
Oh, I don't know. Snapchat us.
Oh, we don't have Snapchat.
Oh,
no.
right. I don't know. DM.
us.
Yeah.
DM Vish, because he wants to message back all of you at
Jesus.
_sage or Twitter at 8sagegamer.
Cool. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, boom, and we are back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is your weekly roundup where we talk about 4 things from the week that we thought were cool and dissect them as we play video games. Hence the term Socratic Gamers. Because we're Socratic, we think, ask the why. It's actually one of my topics, by the way. And gamers, because we play video games as we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
So first on the docket, Vish, what do you said you got two that are melded into one because they're similar topic?
Well, I mean, it is the same topic. It's just more specific. Anyway, so the first thing would be, well, CES happened.
Oh, no way.
Week.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Did
cool.
It know?
Oh, I did not know.
I know you did not know.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple, like, got 3 on this one, just in this, for the ones that were kind of interesting,
Okay.
weird, and also pretty cool. So I think what's pretty cool, because CES, they got everything, like a bunch of different techs, TVs, and all that stuff. I think last year we talked about it, and like LG had their roll-up TV.
And I remember we were talking about like the subway thing, or no, the robot thing. It's like a robot server.
I don't remember.
I
now.
remember that distinctly. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
That was over a year ago.
yeah,
Actually. Yeah.
TVs are always the thing to look at in these sort of things, at
Mhm.
these sort of CESs. Like, I think there was a lot of focus on 8K there.
Okay.
But the one I'm talking about is micro LEDs. So Samsung was showing off their micro LED TVs.
Okay.
Basically,
Can I take a guess?
what?
So micro LED is like you have smaller LEDs, meaning that you get more pixels.
Sure, but it's not about that.
Oh, damn.
It's not about the tech itself
Oh, okay,
of
okay.
the micro LED, but it's about what Samsung was showing was it's modular. It's panels where you can size the TV as big as you want it.
What?
So
Okay, interesting.
it comes in like, I don't know, square pieces, let's say.
Okay.
So you can make like more like a widescreen where it just fits the movie.
Okay.
You can make it more, like, you can make it different sizes. Like, well, you make it, that's a bad way. It's like make it 40 inch or make it 75 inches
Okay.
by adding onto it. It comes in pieces. It's like a Lego blocks.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then
I like
you
that.
can have, so whatever fits
So
your space.
it's sort of like how I bought 3 extra monitors
Yeah.
to cover more room.
Well, it's, okay, yeah. So it's just making a bigger TV. It's not like, I don't know. I think you can add, I guess, different screens onto it, but it's like expanding the screen.
No, but that's also why I got the 3 extra monitors.
Okay, yeah.
Because like I needed to like put stuff in certain areas.
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
see everything at once.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
guess
cool.
so. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they were showing that off using like the 75. So you can, yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought it's probably expensive though, but
Yeah, did they ever come out with that that row that like
yes, it is coming out this
one,
year. They
two?
actually talked about it more about it this year at CES and for consumer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much is it?
I did not check the price. Probably really expensive
Over
because
10K?
yeah, it's like a 4K version, and it rolls up to different sizes.
So we're looking at like $10,000.
I don't know, maybe,
Yeah.
probably not, but something like.
Can you game on that? You can game on that.
Yeah, you can game on it.
Yeah. I wonder if
Yeah.
it's like, because I remember like a long time ago, I was playing Xbox in the basement on
Yeah.
that. Remember that giant TV that I had?
Yeah.
The big box.
Yeah.
And then we got like the one that's mounted,
Mm.
but like the big box one, the graphics weren't that good. It was just a giant TV.
Yeah.
Do you remember that actually? It was
Yeah,
like a giant box.
I remember that. I
it was a
remember
giant
that.
box. And then
But that's
so,
the technology before those.
Yeah.
That's called CRT TVs,
yeah, I don't know. Are you
right?
sure?
So
All
that's
right.
well, yeah, because they use like a big bulb kind of thing to project the
Okay, true.
lights.
Yeah. I got you. And then I moved the Xbox to my room with a smaller TV, but it
Yeah.
was better like
Pixelated
pixelation.
thing. Yeah, not pixelated.
No, not pixelated.
Yeah.
And then I saw all these like extra things that I didn't see on the downstairs TV, like all these like added like
Yeah.
HUD modules
Yeah.
on the Halo interface.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember.
Remember, it was like, it tripped me
yeah.
out because it's like, what? I hadn't seen this before.
Right, like the visor for the.
Yeah,
you
you
couldn't even see
remember?
that on
Yeah.
those old- yeah, I remember.
But it's funny because like same thing goes for different monitors because people are like, well, what's the point? I have this one monitor.
Yeah.
I don't need another one. But like
Mhm.
it really does change the quality of it, like
Yeah,
dramatically.
yeah.
I think dramatically actually.
Yeah, it's more about pixel density. So the more pixel density is, you can't even tell that it's a screen
That's crazy.
to the point where it's like too real.
I've noticed with like 4K, or I guess it's 4K, when you shoot the movie and then it's like it's too clear and then you can tell that they're wearing costumes. I don't like that.
I think there depends. Even within 4K, there's different things. There's like this called HDR,
Mm.
which adds more color stuff,
Because
vibrancy.
I remember I saw
I don't know.
Avengers with you,
Yeah.
Infinity War, in the theater with
Yeah.
like the hyper resolution, and I was like, oh, this is like fake, right? And then I watched it a second time
Yeah.
in a lower resolution,
Okay.
and like in the theater, and
Yeah.
then it was way better. Like for me, it felt way better because I could actually get into the story because like I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it looked like costumes,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay.
So sometimes hyper reality can like take away, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I feel that way. Except for video games. Like you always want the best immersive hyper reality for video games.
Right.
But just like movies for me, it's like I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was one of the things. The other one I thought was
So is your second topic?
no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all like just like the couple things from CES I liked, and then the other one is like we'll get to that after.
Okay.
So people were surprised to see like Apple. Apple weren't there as a company itself, but they were showing off that, or Samsung and the other companies were showing off that they're working with Apple, bringing AirPlay, bringing iTunes
Oh,
into
cool.
into those TVs already, and HomeKit stuff.
oh, that's cool.
So that was surprising. I think
Mm.
people didn't expect that from Apple to work with these companies.
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
they keep to themselves, right? So
Normally, yeah, but I think they see, it's like iTunes bringing to Windows. They see the benefit now that I think smart TVs are there. I think this is the way to do it. It just helps them more. Anyways, in the long run too, right? So that was something surprising to see.
did Tim Cook make an appearance?
No. They're not going to make an appearance.
Oh, maybe
They did have an ad kind
You
of
know-
like
you know what'd be
mocking
crazy?
though.
You know, it'd be crazy if like they made it like a rock show and it was like, and then like all the lights turned off and then the screen started to play and then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, is this an Apple ad? And then all you see is like a spotlight and then coming out of the ground is Tim Cook. You know what I mean? Like a stage.
Like a rock star.
Yeah, right. They'd be like, oh my god, he's appearing.
Okay.
Right? Like
I guess.
plot twist.
Sure.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't think so.
All right, well.
And then this is just a funny thing. We talk about all about immersion, right, with technology. So, immersion toilets.
Okay.
So it's like a smart toilet. It's got mood lighting.
Wow.
It's got surround sound for
Wow.
birds chirping. So it's like you're doing it in the wild. I don't know.
That's so
I
weird,
don't know.
though. Aren't you supposed to like squat though?
I guess so, but
Right. Do they have like side handles or something, side bars where you can like put your feet and then you squat? It's supposed to be better.
it's like the Alexa enabled
You are now
to command
taking-
it to flush
Oh,
or read you the news. I mean,
that's a
it
little
could
intense.
do it. That's
a
why
little
it's a smart
intense.
toilet. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was this. Sometimes you do these things too, just kind of like to push boundaries
Right.
and see what happens.
But it's like it's weird because you think of the smart toilet and you're like, oh, what are the ramifications for that? And it's like, well, then you could have smart fridges. You can have smart.
Well, they're already there though. Smart.
No,
fridges
no,
are
I
already-
I
yeah.
know, but like if you push the boundaries
think-
of the toilet, you're gonna push the boundaries of the everything else. and
Yeah,
then
exactly,
We're gonna have
yeah.
a
Yeah.
smart apartment.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you know?
this all started from smart smart. What do they call appliances, right? So,
Oh, okay, true.
and then this is another appliance to make it smart. I
Right,
guess.
right,
It's not really an appliance, but yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
yeah. Those are like the three interesting things.
You know, it'd be really intense. Like your bowel movement shows that you are dehydrated. You know, something like crazy like that. That'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It could eventually happen.
You know what I'm sad about? That girl who looked like Steve Jobs, and then she said she was gonna do blood testing with like a prick.
Oh yeah.
That it was like a fake thing. 'cause, like, I
She
don't like
failed
needles,
so horribly.
like-
I saw that. I remember like going to like getting the blood check, and I was like, "Have you ever heard of this thing?"
And I was like,
And I was
nope.
like, nope.
You're like, what?
And then, oh, it's really cool. And then you find out like,
She was taking everyone's money.
yeah,
Sucks.
it was just not working out.
Yeah, I remember when you first showed me that. And I was
Yeah,
like, so
yeah. I
stoked.
thought it was cool. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was not like a Steve Jobs.
No,
she,
she just dressed like him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she used it as a tool, I guess, to fool people.
Hashtag marketing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's part of that. That's done that.
All right. So I just finished Philippines 2011 edit. So it's so funny that like it's funny how well, two things. Funny how like accidents happen. Like because the power is out, you are forced to like look for things on your hard drive.
Yeah, I was
Like,
just
all right.
bored.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
There's like nothing to do. And then the second funny thing is like you totally forget that you have these things,
Yeah.
and they become like treasures later. You're like, oh my god, look what I found, right? So that's really cool. I remember when we were first going, I was like, oh, we should make like a music video.
Right.
It's because you know what got me into making these like little videos.
Uh-huh.
This ties in pretty
Okay.
well to it, but
Yeah.
I was really into band music videos in the back, like not music videos, but like a lot of bands that I like Bless the Fall,
Right.
Of Mice and Men, Blink-182, they do these like behind the scenes documentary style videos
Yeah.
where they're playing their music while like living life, and then it always made me feel like, oh man, I want to like live cool like that too, right?
Yeah.
So I started to like whenever we do something cool, I'd like try and film it, you know, and that was like the beginning stages of. I guess you could say the beginning stages of actual videography was like back in high school or like elementary school, and
Yeah.
Brent was always making these like videos.
Yeah.
And we'd help him out and stuff. But then like actually making the style of videos that I make came from bands.
Right. Okay,
And I just
okay.
kept carrying it over because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's really cool. So I remember when we were like leaving, I was like, okay, we should film it because it'll be like a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then like I just like forgot about it. We lost the footage, like some crazy stuff happened. And then like now you finding it, I was like, oh, I should just re-edit it, you
Yeah.
know? And if you're listening to this, you've ever seen mid-90s, it's kind of like that feel. Although it was like filmed in 2011,
Yeah.
it's got that like very old school vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually thinking like it'd be cool to like buy a old school iPhone and refilm things like that to make it have that old school video. Like, you know, like if you're a real videographer,
Yeah.
that's a good tool to have, right?
Oh yeah.
Because the pixelation's down and the sizing.
Mhm.
But what I noticed like after watching that video, because it was like heavily centered around me. Whenever I'd film and edit, it was other people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Tara always features in my videos, especially like when we're traveling. Like nobody really films me, but
Yeah.
but this one you were filming me because
was
like
the
you
one-
were behind the camera
I was-
now.
yeah.
And then I was watching myself doing all these like ridiculous things, like trying to ride a motorbike or like jumping off some craziness.
Yeah.
And like it's like of course the person that I was is the person that I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made me think about how if you look at your life in a sped up version, you can see the catalyst for every decision that's been made.
Right.
Or you see like a theme growing, right?
Yeah.
Because we're looking at our lives from our own eyes, we're kind of like, oh, like this is my life. There was no past, there's no future, kind of thing, right? Very yogic, right? Like live in the moment.
Yeah.
But then when I saw these videos and then I think about all the other videos I edited, it's like, oh, yeah, that's why I did that. Even saying like, oh, I watched a band video and I tried to mimic that and I'm still mimicking that. It's like we all have reasons for actions, which again makes me believe in determinism, you know? Because it's like, is there such thing as fate? There's no fate that's like dictating where you're going to go. It's more like your choice, every single choice has a ramification.
Yeah.
But you can all trace that back to the Big Bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like everything's like, it's just a giant ripple.
Right.
And we kind of forget about the ripple.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it tripped me out because then I started to think like, because that's like looking backwards. But then if you try and look forward into it, you're like, oh man, like we're going to die. And then like all of our stuff's going to get packed away. And then like people will forget about us. You know what I mean? Like we are caught in a ripple of time. Yeah. It was like that thing we were talking about yesterday, the Black Mirror. When they're dead, they're playing different memories from the past.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, if you've never seen the episode, definitely go watch it. But basically, the premise is like, you're watching these people jumping through different times, and you're like, oh, why are they jumping through different times? And then you realize they're dead, and their consciousness is living on, and they're just playing different moments. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's their consciousness, because consciousness is technically their awareness. Their memories lived on.
Yeah.
But this is impossible because you need a brain to store your memories.
Yes.
Because your consciousness is really just watching what's going on, but then your memories is telling you. You're telling your consciousness what it's seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, you'll be biking, and then you're like, oh, I didn't even notice the bike ride until you stop, and then you have to jump back in your memories to remember what it is.
Right.
Like everything's like a recall.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of feel like we're caught in that moment where we think we're in something, but we don't realize we're in like a memory. Just like in that Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they thought they were actually living it, but it's like, then how come I keep jumping? And it's like, yeah, because you're actually dead. You're just living on through your memories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I see.
And that's kind of how it is. Like, I don't know. It's too bad everybody can't just film their lives. Yeah. But if you take a moment and you like really think about it, it's like, it's pretty trippy.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
that was interesting.
And then it was so interesting. And then you're like, you forget because you see like an older person like Arvel. You're like, oh, he's like this big strong guy now, right? But then like when I saw that video, I'm like, oh right, Arvel was that little kid that was always around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just fascinating. And then we were talking about clothes, and then how like you're like, oh, I still have that same shirt, and then I was looking at the video, I'm like, oh, I still have the same of those clothes, right?
Yeah.
And you don't really buy new clothes now, right? We only buy out of necessity, you know. But your clothes, you don't realize that like the first, like it's sort of like tattoos or like things that you surround yourself with. Your clothes help set your mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all right, so people are like, oh, no, it doesn't. Then it's like, okay, how do you feel if you're wearing a bunny suit and if you're wearing street clothes, or if you're wearing a business suit, or if you're wearing a tuxedo? You know what I mean? And then, like, you will quickly realize that what you wear has a strong influence on your mental outlook.
Yeah.
Of course, you can get past it, but it's like, it'll always be there subconsciously.
Yeah.
You know?
It helps.
Yeah, it helps, your perception of the world as you move through it.
That's like for actors, too, right? When they put on...
Exactly, yeah.
Their costumes or whatever, it kind of helps you put yourself in that mood.
Yeah, for sure. Like, would Heath Ledger still feel like Joker if they didn't put on the freaking Joker makeup?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course he wouldn't feel like Joker. He needs that stuff, right? Just like we're all actors in a play. But then it got me thinking, like...
It's like putting on masks.
It is like putting on masks. It literally is like putting on masks. Like, you do feel different if you're wearing, like, an army suit
Mhm.
let's say you're going to war and then you put on like a cool army suit that's like amazing, right? And you're like, oh, I'm ready for war. And then they're like, okay, now you're just gonna put on a t-shirt and you're gonna have all the guns. You're gonna be like, ooh, wait, no, I feel like not properly equipped for this,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that helps you get into a mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then it got me thinking about like other people, how like, people are like, oh, he changed all of a sudden that he got his new job.
Mm-hmm.
Or like something like that,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people
yeah.
change over time, like, oh, he's like, they've got all this money now and they've suddenly changed. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I could see that happening because they probably just ditched all their old stuff and then bought a bunch of new stuff and then now they're identifying with this stuff. But like, if you keep old stuff around, you'll still be that same old person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant when I was saying, like, I know I didn't say it here, but like last night when I was saying that our clothes keep our memories,
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I meant. Because like they don't actively keep our memories, but we attach our memories to our clothes.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember wearing that shirt here, and I remember wearing these pants for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like our whole lives are triggers. Like, we keep certain triggers around, but then that's why the like ultra spiritual like ascetics, they're like, okay, get rid of everything because I'm not real or whatever. But then it's like, then is that even worth living if you let go of everything in your
That's
memories?
my point. That's my point. Yeah.
Like, you need your attachments,
Yeah. Of course.
T City said it best. He's like even if we lose it all, at least we had it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's a great philosophy. It's a very Zen philosophy because it's like, oh, it's here, it's great, and then if it's gone, it's gone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of with death too, right?
Exactly. And then that's where it got me thinking about death again, because it's like, oh, this is all gonna go away. Well, it's like, yeah, it is all gonna go away, but simultaneously you have it now, so enjoy it while it's here.
Right.
And then when it's gone, don't feel bad that it's gone. It's like, it is what it is. We're all
Yeah.
gonna lose. You can't hold on to it forever.
No.
Yeah. All right. That was a long-winded one, but oh, actually, no, wait, hold on.
Okay.
And then this is like kind of side note-ish.
Yeah.
But then it also got me thinking about the Logan Paul podcast yesterday.
Oh wow, you're listening to Logan Paul.
Yeah. Well, because he had like my one of my favorite podcasters on.
Okay.
But then like I realized like he was so raw and like real that it's almost like. Actually, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this because, like, this kid, we're just gonna end it here because this kid, like, Smiley, if he ends up like, not that he will end up seeing. I'm just saying it's like you never know about the ramifications of your own words, right? If I say anything, then he's like, "So, dude, you said this once." Not that I'm like that important, like thinking I'm that important, but you never know. You don't put that karma out in the world. Some things are best left not recorded, is what I'm saying. But it was an interesting podcast. All I'm saying is like it's fascinating. I was like, I learned a lot from it. Shouldn't have brought that up. But all right, yeah, go ahead.
Now you're gonna ask for it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you should continue that.
all right. So mine is again why it's related to CES, but it's because of this. People, it's replacing pets.
Oh, fascinating.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it might. I mean, so they're just robots, little
Okay.
cute robots that act.
That's hard.
It's hard, yeah. I don't think it necessarily works for our generation, but
Nah, I
it could
don't
work
know.
for
It
the
could
future.
work for the future. I'm thinking about oxytocin, like actual chemicals. Like because when you touch the dog, you get a chemical release in your brain.
Yeah, the same thing could happen with robots.
But it's like, it would have to be very believable.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's
goddamn,
not.
You gotta
I don't
see
think
it in its eyes.
No.
and be like, oh,
I'm just saying
thing's
this is the
alive.
start of it, to the point where you can probably have things that feel like the dog, but you don't have to deal with,
Death.
that, or like the washroom stuff, unless you want to add that in. I don't know if that's
True, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't always have to take him for a walk,
True, yeah, I feel you.
right? It's so like anyway. So this one is called it's called Lovot, Lovot,
Okay.
and then all it does it's just like a toddler.
Smiles.
No, it's I'll tell you more like what it looks like. Anyway, so it just begs for attention, and
It's kind of annoying.
gets in the way of those that lives with it, right? Lives with you, kind of like gets in your way, like a normal pet,
Okay.
right? And then it's specifically just designed to create emotional attachment. That's the whole point of this thing.
Interesting.
its only purpose is to be loved.
That's
Like the
pretty
way they've
fascinating.
designed it, yeah. So it's got like the main emotion is coming from the eyes, because so its eyes were like engineered to be cute with like I don't know, they're saying 6 layers of projections to create depth.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And
Because I
then
was thinking, like, how are you
so
gonna
it
get the
makes
eyes
it
right?
yeah, it makes it like look adorable, like, and it does like
Do you have a picture?
cooing sounds, and it responds to like your touch.
Is there a picture?
I'll show you that.
Alright, cool.
And then it's got like 50 sensors located around its fuzzy body.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty
Okay.
sick.
And then it's got like, it does look weird on the top of its head because like a canister type, but that's for like the cameras. That's for
Right.
like, so it can read. It has like that's where the microphone's at, and 3 cameras. 180 degree to map the room and its depth and thermal.
Okay.
And it says it can help the AI recognize up to 1,000 people.
Wow.
So since it's like it's a robot, it's battery operated, right? So it's you can only like it only lasts for an hour. Well, this prototype at least,
Okay.
and then it kind of like works like any those robots that clean your like vacuum your home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So those robots go back when it needs to go and charge, goes back to its charging pod or something.
Right.
So it
okay.
has to do the same kind of thing.
Interesting.
So yeah, and and it says so it's got, because of the AI, it'll try to like remember, like it wants to be held in your arms kind of thing.
That's so crazy.
And
though.
then it like it says it'll fall asleep, so I don't know what that means. And then if you treat it roughly, it'll remember and won't come towards you.
No way. That's kind of freaky. It's like they're trying to figure out a way to make AI acceptable without making AI.
So it's trying to like add this what it's there like behavior is like a toddler.
That's very odd. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's sick, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's more designed for Japanese, I guess. It kind of makes sense over there, and then maybe it'll slowly spread. But it's kind of like replacing pets in a way. But it's still too, for me, it's still too like it doesn't feel like a dog in a way. It's not like it. It's gonna take a long time till that happens. I would say.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's just I can see it starting. I can see how this could potentially get there. Like as you know, we were talking about looking into the past. It's like this is the past to when we go into the future and we see like where this technology has reached.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
To the point where it's just they become like normal pets to us.
That's kind of freaky. I don't know if I'd be into it.
Like instead of like, because we all think of now robots like just or androids like doing work for us, like cook for me or like clean for
now
me.
This one.
Now this one is now more of getting attention.
Yeah.
Wants to be loved, like, you know what I mean? It's a different type of like therapy. It could be a different.
That's so weird. Like I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can get down with that.
Right.
Personally.
Not everyone would go for that.
Okay, that's the picture.
Yeah.
All right, I'll superimpose this photo here in the pocket. Wow, this doesn't even look real. So
yeah, it's very Japanesey. I can see.
Yeah.
But there's like a video too on The Verge if you want to check that out, because it would try to come towards you. There was reading the Verge article. It was like the guy that was filming it.
Yeah.
It kept going towards the guy that was filming it, not the person that really wants it.
Japanese people are like super innovative in that kind of stuff. You know, like that's just like really intense. They're like, they're so trendy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. Their focus.
Did you see? You walk by Finch, right? You walk by Finch down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the new gamer hub? No, you didn't see it, eh?
Yeah, my focus
man,
is.
You're gonna trip out when you see it. That's why I brought the Asian thing in there, because like we live in a predominantly Asian area.
Yeah.
And it's like they're so trendy and like hip. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. So like the new gamer, you know, the one across the street from us, like the one in the top. You've never been inside, right? you look at it, you're like, okay, this is like old school, but people are still playing it.
Okay.
This
yeah.
new one looks like modern, like like Korean, what was that? Esports, Korean esports. When
Oh,
they
really?
went to, yeah, it's like sick. They have like these amazing like giant. They might even be OLEDs, yo. They all look like curved.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then like they've all got like racer chairs, and it's not like hidden away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, at the top there, it's like you wouldn't even know there's a gamer spot there.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, the number one like esports is from
Korea, yeah.
from Korea.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that one it's like hidden away, right?
Yeah.
But this one is like you walk by and all the windows are there, and it's like it's new, so it's like clean. So you just have like rows upon rows of like giant OLEDs and like racer chairs. And then I was like looking, I was like, oh my god, this looks super intense. Like you could play esports here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Next time you walk by, it's right next to the burrito place.
Oh okay.
Yeah, like right next to it. Because it's picking up burritos, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Oh.
intense. I thought you would like it.
Yeah, I probably would.
I thought it was gonna be like another bubble tea shop because they put like 80 of those in. It's weird.
Yeah, there's so many. It's a huge competition.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like literally like 10 right beside each other.
Yeah.
I always go for the cheap one, like $2 one. They all taste the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
All right, so you finished your
Yeah.
All right,
Lovot.
Lovot. So this one's an interesting one. It's not really like I guess it's really a topic, but it's more like what do you call this? It's like an observation.
Mm-hmm.
So like I may or may not have been irate when I came up with this one, but so we were talking last night, and I was like, I said something to you about, I think it was the clothes one.
Yeah,
It was the clothes.
clothes.
And I was like, dude, this is the trippiest, like, why am I talking about this clothes with these memories right now? And I was like, I was going to laugh, but then I noticed you were like entertaining my conversation. And I was like, oh, like if this was a normal person, they'd be like, dude, like this is some high talk right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you talking about right now? You know, but like you entertained it. And I was thinking about like when we were kids, we always entertain these kinds of conversations.
Right.
Like
right,
hence
right.
Socratic gamers. Like what we're doing right now. It's like if you listen to us, you might be like, dude, you guys are like, what are you talking about right now?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just things that like other people don't really like think to, like it's like it would be a thought and you're like, oh, this is not really applicable to progress, so let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's how philosophers are as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just like entertain thoughts all the way through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right? And it's like, even though I was like,
oh, it's
dude,
supposed to be like that. Yeah.
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you studied philosophy, right? So it's like, you know, where it's like, when I was like, oh, clothes keep our memories and like this and like
Yeah,
this and like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is how they do it. You were like, I can see that. Yeah, I understand. And I was like, oh, you've always been like that though.
Yeah.
You know, and we've always had these kinds of
Yeah.
conversations, even growing up, like always growing up, like thinking about like Vish. Oh, so you're Vish.
Yeah.
Thinking about like Wob, Jared, even France, Sid. You know, we always like,
Yeah.
you know, it was never too weird
Yeah.
to talk about. And I feel like that's where we're losing society.
Mm.
Oh, and that's okay, and that's where I was gonna go with the Logan Paul thing. So this is a positive thing. So like that's what I liked about the podcast. He was going there. It was like they were asking some questions that I was like, oh, I would have asked that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you know what I
see.
mean? Like I was watching it and like I always wondered about Brendan Schaub's Himza eye necklace.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like, sitting there, and then his friend just shot out like, oh, are you spiritual? And he's like, oh, why do you ask? He's like, well, you're wearing the Himza thing. Like, I was wondering why you're wearing it. I was like, dude, I would have asked that same question. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and it's, damn, now that Tara pointed out that I say, you know what I mean, I can't stop hearing myself say it. Yeah, sorry everyone out there. I'll try and like delete that.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when people say like.
Right.
Yeah. Or it's another one.
Mm.
But so I was
That's pretty
watching.
normal though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is a very real podcast, and I wonder if that's why people gravitate towards it. He's got like 1 million, although he does have 1 million, but he's also famous, so maybe that's why. But like,
Yeah.
I was wondering like, why would people watch this? So I was trying to like figure it out, and I also wanted to hear what Brendan Schaub was gonna say, because I like him.
Right.
And yeah, it's It's just more high talk. It's like, oh, these are things that most people wouldn't entertain. Most like, I don't want to say most people because you got 1 million followers, but it's like, what do you call that? Most, not civilized. Like you ever have those conversations where you're talking to someone? I'm sure you have, where you're talking to someone not in our circle, and then they're like, oh, and I've always thought about that, or like, wow, you really thought about that deeply or something. And it's like, yeah, these are just, I feel like these are normal things that just people push down.
Yeah. I mean, or they don't have interest in those sort of things.
But is it like, do they have interest, or is it like they just don't want to?
I think it's more an interest. There's things
Okay.
that we don't care about that they do. It's out of interest.
I feel like I would listen to anything right now.
Yeah, maybe that's what our thing is. We like everything. Or we
Oh,
are
true.
interested to hear about everything. There's probably some things.
That I wouldn't listen to. Actually,
Not that we wouldn't listen to, but it's like we won't give as much interest in. But like we probably listen to.
oh, like oh, my day went like this, and
Yeah.
it was sort of like the introverts podcast, the Charisma on Command that I was
Mhm.
watching. They're like, oh, all introverts, they tend to like steer conversations towards things that they find entertaining,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
mean something to them,
Yeah.
and they're not really interested in small talk.
Yeah.
And I really can't deal with. I actually don't know how to do that. Like not in like a
Yeah.
like a I'm better than you way. Like I wish I knew how to do that because
Right,
it
right.
just
It
comes
doesn't
out
come-
really awkward.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I did this weekend." I'm just like, "Oh, haha," and I'll just like turn around and do something else, and I'm like, "Damn, that was awkward of me." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
It's
think
like-
a lot of people feel that though. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a significant amount of people. Yeah, I know. That's why.
If I just knew like some tricks, but it's like, I find that if I end up talking to them,
Yeah.
so like sometimes, okay, somebody will say something very trivial to me and Adrian,
Mm-hmm.
and then he has this great way of just walking away from them. When he gets bored, he just walks away. And I'm like, damn, how do you do that? But then like, because I'm there, I start asking these like more in-depth questions, and then they start to think like, oh, he's really interested in what I have to say. It's like, no, I just don't want to make this awkward.
Right.
And I don't know.
But
I
you
can't-
make it worse.
because now I've talked
Now
to you
you've
for a
got
full hour about your
yeah,
day.
Yeah, and they think you actually like the stuff.
Yeah, it's brutal. And I'm like, wow, I just kill. And then I don't know how to end up walking away.
You just dig yourself in a hole.
Yeah, and then I
basically,
just end up listening for 4 more hours. I'm like, oh my god. People gotta learn how to like walk away. Like I gotta learn how to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
But I feel like a jerk if I was just like, all right, true, peace.
Yeah, but I guess that's your fault, though. You're the one
I guess.
thinking that.
I guess. Yeah, maybe that's why I limit my time.
Maybe it's more of a jerk to let them on.
Maybe it is more of a jerk. I don't know. Yeah.
'Cause
That's
then
why I
they
like
think
to
you're really
limit
into
my.
it.
That's why I like to limit my external outings
Right.
ish. That's also why I like the buffer of like technology, because like you can like present yourself in a cool way without having to actually talk to
Mhm.
people. You know, somebody sends you a message, you're like, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like if you're talking to them face to face, like, oh, I gotta deal with that right now. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So learn how to say no, people.
The greatness of technology.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, it's like it's fascinating that we had done that for so long, but I feel like we only had that opportunity because we were around each other. Because I'm pretty sure like other people,
I guess so.
you know what I mean? Like we just luckily lucked out on us being together to like entertain the conversation. But like if you lived in that environment with older people
Yeah.
or younger people, it's like you could never get that out.
Yeah, I guess you got to be around the right kind of people. That, like, kind of like to continue, like,
Yeah, and not get like made fun of, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, maybe I am thinking dumb.
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where there are people like,
Because it's a really normal phrase. Oh, that's like kind of dismissive talk.
yeah, dismissive. That's the word.
Yeah.
Because then people would just be like, bro, you hot right now, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm high. Damn.
Right. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's just like, then that's the dismissive.
Or you tripping, yo. There's another one where you're like,
Yeah, that's
I am
also-
I'm tripping, yo.
Yeah. And don't look further into
But
it.
we would always do that too, though. It would, like, we'd go into these like really in-depth talks, and then we'd just be like, "Yo, you're tripping." And we'd like change
Well,
it.
if
you know?
if it's something like, I
But
don't
we
know.
but we wouldn't dismiss it right away.
No, no, no,
We'd
no,
at
no.
least like give it some thought, and
Yeah,
then be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"All right,
yeah.
now we're done. Let's go do something else."
Right. Yeah.
Because you could spiral that way.
Yeah. I guess there's levels or points. You know what I mean?
There's
to it.
levels to everything, yo. Levels. Yeah. All right. So next week, if I don't die, because I'm going to the dentist. So.
Oh,
we'll
is
do
that
another
this
one.
week?
Yeah,
I mean,
Friday.
whatever's coming up.
Friday,
Oh.
skirt. Yeah, it's like it's childhood stuff right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you don't have another podcast next week, it's because I died in the dentist chair out of fear. Is that weird? Like I took that all the way to the like. I'm probably just gonna die on that day. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like have a heart attack in
That's-
the chair. Like oh no.
That's fine.
No, but like you know. Well, I
Yeah.
guess yeah, it is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. It'll be fun. Yeah. All right. So next week, weekly roundup. We still gotta do our book reviews.
Yeah, we gotta get on that.
Yeah, we'll figure out a day to do one. We also gotta play some more online sessions.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So take it easy. Live life to the fullest,
Yeah. Cool.
or not.
No. Technologies will take this. No, robots will take over the world.
You know, it'd be crazy if it's like, oh, live life to the fullest, and then technology puts us to the point of like, oh, you could do that later because we'll live forever. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah, yeah.
that'd be great. That would actually be really detrimental. Where it's like, oh, I should really go take this job. It's like, it'll come around again in 500 years. You'll be fine. You know, like
Yeah.
we'll be like trees at that point. It's
I
like,
guess.
like our perception of time will be like super.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because like if you're like a fruit fly and you live for a day, your perception of time is probably super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like us, we live for 7 years, we're at that speed. But if you live like a tree, you know,
Yeah, you take your time.
yeah, it's probably like a hyperlapse when they see us. Or yeah, like super
Yeah,
hyperlapse,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I guess so.
It wouldn't be slow. Would it be
Mm,
slow?
I don't know. If you're in it, I guess
If you're from the tree's perspective.
it would be slow.
No, it wouldn't be slow.
Why not?
Because they live for like 10,000 years, so like to us it's like we're just dropping like flies.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's slow to them.
Us moving around?
If you go from backwards, yeah, it's fast.
Okay.
Like, from when the tree would die, 10,000 years from now or whatever. It's like fast, but it's like going through it. It's
Slow. Oh yeah, yeah. Sure. Well, it would be set to their speed, like how we're set to our speed.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess whatever that means. This is more high talk right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you see how we entertained it? That's what I mean. Yeah. All right. So until next time,
Yes.
take it easy.
Peace.
Enjoy your high talk.